Alexander's work and views are recorded in speeches kept in the University of Pennsylvania archives. Among her earliest works are from the 1920s and discuss black workers in the U.S. economy. In 1930, Alexander published an article, Negro Women in Our Economic Life, which was published in Urban League's Opportunity magazine advocating black women's employment, particularly in industrial jobs. Alexander generally supported the Republican Party, suspicious of the control of conservative Southern whites over the Democratic Party, although she also criticized Republican political appointments, as well as what she saw as uneven benefits of the New Deal, which did not do enough to help blacks who were most hurt by the Great Depression. During World War II, Alexander saw similarities in a rise in racial violence and discrimination in the U.S. as paralleling the treatment of Jews in Germany. Near the end of the war, she supported integrating labor unions to increase their bargaining power once the war economy slowed and industrial employment moved toward pre-war levels. Her interest in labor economic issues extended to advocating for government regulation to smooth fluctuations in the business cycle, modification of tariffs, regulation of public utilities, and regulation of securities and securities markets. After the war, she was appointed to Truman's Presidential Committee on Human Rights and shifted her focus to civil and human rights. Evidence in the archives suggests that her focus was in this direction for over a decade. In 1949, Alexander and 6 other Philadelphians formed the Citizens Council on Democratic Rights to protect and extend the enjoyment of human rights. In 1951, joined by Henry W. Sawyer, the council became the Greater Philadelphia branch of the American Civil Liberties Union. Alexander continued to serve on that organization's board of directors for many years. In 1963, she gave a speech to the Annual Conference of Commission on Human Rights, and she returned to the topic of economic justice, advocating for universal employment. In a 1981 interview she did with the Geriatric Nursing Journal about her position as chair of the WHCOA, Alexander expressed her disapproval of anti-abortion legislation. She advocated for better benefits for nurses and stressed their vitality to the healthcare system. She also expressed that everyone, no matter their age or educational level, can add value to the economy with the proper support. In 1948, the National Urban League featured Alexander as Woman of the Year in its comic book of Negro heroes. In 1970, Alexander was finally granted membership into Phi Beta Kappa, an honor she had been denied as an undergraduate at University of Pennsylvania. In 1974, Alexander was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Pennsylvania, her first of 7 such honors. She received the degree at University of Pennsylvania Law School. In 1980, Alexander received the Distinguished Service Award from the University of Pennsylvania's Law School. An elementary school in West Philadelphia, the Sadie Tanner Mossell Alexander University of Pennsylvania Partnership School, Penn Alexander, is named after her. The public school was developed in partnership with the university, which supports the school financially and academically. The Raymond Pace and Sadie Tanner Mossell Alexander Professorship at the University of Pennsylvania is named in her honor. In 2018, the Sadie Collective, an organization for black women in quantitative fields, was created in her honor. It hosted the first U.S. Conference for Black Women in Economics in 2019, drawing attention from press outlets such as NPR, Forbes, Bloomberg, and Quartz, as well as notable economists like Janet Yellen, former chair of the Federal Reserve System, and James Paterba, current president and CEO of the NBER. The conference was attended by her daughter, Dr. Ray Pace Alexander Minter, and took place at Mathematica Policy Research's Washington, D.C. office. In 2018, Philadelphia City Councilwoman Cherelle Parker proposed a measure to erect a statue of Alexander. On February 24, 2021, Alexander's life and accomplishments were the subject of an episode of the podcast Broads You Should Know on April 27, 2022. Alexander was named a Distinguished Fellow by the American Economic Association for her contributions to economic equality and civil rights. She is the first and only economist to posthumously receive the award.